feel like I'm gonna have to keep checking my posture every single time I look at this thing because it's not looking too good. Hey guys, what is up? Today we are going to be playing with some not new makeup. I was trying to think about what video I wanted to film and what I wanted to do. Nothing was really sparking my interest, so I was like, what if I just reintroduce myself to makeup that I haven't used in a really long time? This is all drugstore makeup. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of stuff that I've had for a decent amount of time. So I think the only thing that I don't have that's not drugstore is like my brow freeze from Anastasia and my eye primer. So we're just gonna do a nice chill, sit down, get ready with me. I have nowhere to go, nothing to do. If that is something that you guys are into, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can tell, I have a whole new setup going on, new camera, new lights, new backdrop, literally new everything. Just because it was time. It was time for me to step up my game. It's so funny because I'm actually like in the corner of my room. I like turned half of my room into like a studio. Gotta make do with what you got, right? So I don't have anything on my skin, just my normal skincare and my sunblock. So I'm actually gonna start out with my eyes, like I always do. I'm gonna use my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is the only thing that isn't drugstore because I don't have a drugstore eye primer actually. And if there's one thing that I'm not gonna be upset about spending money on, it's primers. Because if your base, you know, isn't the best of the best, then your eyeshadows aren't gonna perform, no matter if they are drugstore or high-end. If you have a drugstore primer that works for you, go ahead and use it. I just don't have one. The palette that we're going to be using is this NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. I used to use this all the time. It's so good. It has so many different shades, and they're all pretty blendable and pretty pigmented. I think I'm going to use this red one, this reddish brown nude shade first, and I'm going to use that on my trusty Sigma E25, this brush right here. Now Morphe does have a dupe for this. It is the M433, this brush right here. This is a great dupe for the Sigma one. I just love the Sigma one so much, and it never lets me down. So that's the brush I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to take that and just pack it on like out here. So I'm just going to take this shade and I'm just going to blend it out. I love these red, warm, like clay eyeshadows. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to be doing a nude look today. I know, I'm so sorry. I did a colorful look on my birthday, which was, if this is going up the week that I hope it is, it was last week, and I did a really colorful pink and purple eye look with jewels. It was really pretty. It's on my Instagram. I did a reel, so you guys can go check it out there. I love NYX eyeshadows because they're so easy to blend. So easy to blend. So as you can see, I'm also just taking this like through the crease all the way to like the ends of my eyebrows. And then I'm actually going to take that Morphe brush. It's clean, and I'm just going to blend the outer edge. I'm then going to go in with a darker brown, I think. I think I'm going to use this shade right here. It's a nice deep, like chocolatey brown shade, and I'm going to use a pencil brush, and I'm just going to pack it on, and I'm going to, right by my lash line, pack this on. And I'm not going to go above my crease, just to give some dimension. And this also helps, I have downturned eyes, and it helps to lift them when I add a nice darker shade to the outer corner. I'm gonna go in with the Morphe brush, and I'm just gonna blend this in. I'm gonna take my Sigma brush again with that red shade that we used, and I'm just gonna go over the brown and bring it in further on the lid, just because I want to make sure that there's a nice gradient from outer to inner corner. Okay, now for the inner corner and like the lid, I actually might take like a shimmer, even though I was convinced I was gonna do an all matte look. So I'm gonna take this shade right here, This is a nice, pretty, peachy, shimmery color. I'm going to take it on my middle finger and I'm just going to pick it on with my finger. And for more detailed and like precision, you can go in afterwards with a flat brush. The shimmers are like kind of hit or miss in this palette. I know that there's one in here that's like an actual glitter and it's so gorgeous, but it gets absolutely everywhere. I'm going to take this flat Morphe brush. This is an M421 and it's just like a nice flat brush. And I'm going to take that shimmer just so I can get in the inner corner. And I'm just going to press it in. I actually like the way this came out. Didn't really know where I was going, but I like the way it came out. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply some mascara. The mascara I use is this Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. It's my favorite. It's like $5 or something crazy like that. It's such a good mascara. For foundation, I always forget that I have this, and I always forget how good of a foundation it is and how inexpensive it is. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. This is in the shade 228 Soft Tan. And I usually use a sponge with this, but my sponge is across the room and I don't want to wet it or go get it, so I'm just going to use a nice flat brush. The one thing that does stink about this foundation is that there's no pump. Now I don't have a primer because I just don't own a drugstore primer and it's across the room and I can't be bothered to go and get it. So I'm just gonna hope for the best. This is a brush from Amazon, but you can use any brush you have or a sponge. I actually don't know if I ever used a brush with this foundation. This is so much darker than my self-tan skin. It's okay. We're gonna make it work. I always forget about this foundation. Probably because I just love like my CoverGirl 3-in-1 foundation. I feel like I also have like the wrong shade in this Maybelline one. So maybe that's why I don't use it as much. You know which other one I used to really like is the Maybelline Superstay. Really just any Maybelline foundation, it's so good. And yes, I know it is darker than my skin, but it matches, or almost matches, the self-tan that I use. Oh my god, don't look at my hand. It's not a good example. Okay, it matches my self-tan, I promise, I'm not crazy. I don't have any cream contour because now is when I would usually do it. So I'm actually going to go right into concealer, and for concealer I'm going to take this L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I always forget about this concealer. It's so thin, but it covers so much, and it has a weird smell that just like reminds me of other times. I'm actually going to blend this out with just like an eyeshadow brush because again I cannot be bothered to go and get my sponge. And then because it looks so light and scary, I'm actually just gonna take my foundation brush and just blend out the edges. Because I do, you know, want it to brighten, but I don't want to look like a scary person. This does crease quite a bit, which sucks, but it is a good, nice and thin concealer. I hate concealers that are like thick in consistency. Oh my god, I may have put too much. Oh no, what have I done? The smell of this concealer just is really what gets me. I don't understand why it has a scent. Why would something that I put on my face have a scent? I don't get it. It is a good concealer though. It's just hard to pull myself away from my Lancome one because it's so good. So this is a palette that I used to use all the time. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. And I'm actually going to use this yellow shade to set my concealer. And I'm just gonna use this to help brighten up underneath my eyes. Okay, so I just use that to set my T-zone and to kind of brighten everything up. So I actually don't know. Actually, I think I don't know if I want to contour, but I think I'm gonna bronze first and then see from there if I want to contour. So the bronzer that I'm going to use is this oldie but goodie. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blends, and I'm going to take that on my Morphe 530. This is my favorite brush, but it's very problematic. And I'm just gonna... This is a very pigmented bronzer. So if you do pick it up, be careful. Make sure you tap it off like 5 times. And I'm just gonna hit all the places that I normally do. I'm not gonna bring it like below my actual natural like contour, because if I do decide to use the other side of that Wet n Wild contouring palette, I want to make sure I have like a nice clean contour. I'm sorry if I'm like out of frame or if I'm like not in the center. I'm really just trying to get used to this new setup. And this is the first time I'm like shooting with all of it, so please forgive me. Go easy on me. Okay, I totally forgot that I wanted to use this, which is this Milani cream bronzer. I literally totally forgot that I wanted to use this, so I'm actually gonna go grab another one. I'm just gonna use this one. This is one that I use all the time. This is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in the shade Always Rosy or Stay Rosy or something like that. I was gonna use the Milani one because I haven't used it in a while, but I forgot to do it when I was doing all my cream products, so I'm just gonna use this one. If you guys have seen other videos, you probably have seen me use this before. I'm just gonna take this on a big Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm gonna put this back here to help lift my face. My texture did not come to play today. What the heck is going on? So I am actually just gonna do a smidge of contouring, and I'm gonna use the other side of this Wet n Wild palette. I'm gonna use that darker side, obviously, and I'm gonna take this Real Techniques contour brush because it's a nice dome shape ever so lightly, because there's like a lot of kickback that comes with this palette. Literally just gonna go like this. And deepen the shadow that I already have. Okay, and then because I'm looking a little like I added too much blush, I'm going to take a big duo fiber brush and I'm just going to blend it all together. Okay, so for lower lash line, I'm going to take this flat edge brush by Morphe X Ariel. This is the A19 and it's double edged. This is a really good brush. And I'm going to take that reddish color, the first shade that we took, and I'm gonna press it up into, underneath my lash line. Then, with that Morphe brush that we used, I'm gonna take a little bit more and I'm just gonna buff it out. And blend. So now I'm just gonna go off camera and I'm gonna do my lashes and my brows. And then I'll come back and we can finish up this look with lips. So I will see you guys in just a second. Okay, so lashes have been applied. I use these Ardell 8D lashes. For brows, I know that this isn't a drugstore product, but I literally can't not use this. It's like my favorite product ever. This is the Anastasia Brow Freeze, and it is so flippin' good. And I use that with this ColourPop eyebrow pencil. It's called Boss Brow or something like that, I think. It's in the shade Blonde and it works perfectly for my brows. So my second to last step is going to be lips, and I'm going to use 2 ColourPop products. This is the Lippy Pencil and the Lippy Stick. The Lippy Pencil is pretty dark, and then the Lippy Stick, which is like the lipstick, is just this nice nude shade. So I want to do like kind of like a 90s lip with a dark liner and then very nude lipstick. So this is in the shade BFF3 and it's pretty dark, but sorry. Yes, I know that I overline my lips, but that's just who I am, okay? But then I'm going in with this Lippy pencil. It's very nude. It is in the shade Cookie. And try to blend it in with the liner. So as you guys probably know, if you've seen my other videos, you know I prefer a more matte lip, so I think that's why I don't use this as much. I like the way these look together. It's a nice nude lip, just a little too shiny for me. So my last step, of course, is to just bring back my birthmark, and I do that using my One Size Gel Liner Pencil in the shade Point Made. This is the perfect pencil for my birthmark. So this is the final look. I love this type of video. You know, I got this idea from a lot of other creators that are here on YouTube, like Shop My Stash and other videos like that. I like this type of video because it kind of helps to reintroduce you to your old products that you have that you may have forgotten about, but are actually still really bomb products. I know that this NYX Ultimate Utopia palette I used to be obsessed with, and then I just got so many other palettes I kind of forgot about this one. So I love how this look came out. It is very like nude and super simple. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you shop your own stash after this and just remind yourself of products that you have that you may not be remembering to use as frequently as others. If you guys like this video, I would really appreciate it if you show some love. It definitely helps me out. Make sure you guys hang out, stick around, and stay a while. We would love to have you here on this channel. So I hope that you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next one.